Alright folks, welcome to another league with Titan Vial. I've been brewing with this deck for a while now, and I'm trying to tune it. This is the second league that I'm playing with this list. The things that I'm trying out right here are the Shalai, which has felt kind of okay. At this point, the one of Knights feels good. Like, I feel like it's just an okay addition to the deck. And the Arasta also feels good. Like, honestly, I'm trying to make sure if I'm trying to figure out if Shalai is worth it, and if I don't like Shalai, I think that Arasta is gonna go to the main deck. Teak so far has been kind of medium, but I'm feeling that I want to continue trying it out, see what happens. But yeah, make sure you check out the previous league with the deck, because we already played a first one. Love Knight of Reliquary. Yeah, Knight's great. Keep. I think that the Reclaimer activation is going to be more relevant than playing Thalia here. Double Ghost Quarter. It doesn't look like they have Arbiter, so no reason to care too much about what's going on right here. No reason to care too much about what's going on. I'm gonna go with another Valakut here. I don't want to expose the Dryad until the turn when I'm ready to trigger these Valakuts though. So that's why I'm playing the tracker here. If my opponent wants to like use Ghost Quarters here or whatever, I'm very much willing to take a hit from this Battle Skull. Oh, okay, that's a lot worse. I am a lot more worried now. Well, I guess not really that much. So they get to equip. It's fine. So now they're gonna need a path. So they need to have path or they lose, basically. Untap land wins the game on the spot. I'm calling it right now. Sweet. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Play Dryad. Play this. Play this. Trigger Valakuts. Trigger. Trigger. Always yes. Always yield. Always yes. Yes. Boom. Boom, we activate Reclaimer main phase. Guess we sack the Temple Garden. Get Vesuva. Vesuva copy Valakut. This also means that my opponent's just not gonna have enough Ghost Quarters to get me off Valakut. This means that they don't have anything to equip. Always yes. Yes. We get to draw a card for value. And we get to swing for 3. Where's the deck list here? There. Easy. Alright, so mono white Eldrazi and taxes. We're gonna need paths, we're gonna need Knight of Autumns, and that's it. That's it. Thalias can go very easily. Bojuki Ball can go. And one more. Probably an Armor's Call. As long as they don't have Arbiter, I don't think there's too much they can really do. Which is very easily overpower whatever it is that they're doing. What matchup is Arasta good in? Any control deck and prowess specifically. Honestly, I think that Arasta is worth considering for Amulet. Sure. So like half the meta? Yeah, exactly. That's the point. That's why it's in my deck. Arbiter is annoying, not gonna lie. I played the Ghost Quarter there because I don't want my opponent to be able to, you know, like play Ghost Quarter and actually get me behind on lands. So I'm not gonna do anything here, not gonna block, not gonna do anything. Basically, I'm just gonna hold up 2 mana. Ugh. Vomit. Suck it to Reclaimer to send the message. That's the line. Don't have the path. You can have double Arbiter and also have the path to exile. Like, you have to choose opponent. It's either one or the other one. This is actually a nice little blocker. And if we draw any land, I mean, we can just play Courser next turn. We're gonna have to pass the Dryad here, probably. They do. Damn, opponent just has it all. Wow, they really do have it all. Okay. Honestly, I just don't think there was any way we could have won this game at this point. Game 4. Play land. Pass the turn. Get so frustrated playing against this Taxes deck. I mean, it is what they do, right? They just try to cheat you out because their deck is just filled with cards that are very, very underpowered. So when they succeed at cheating you out, of course, it feels bad. So if I path here, I get to gain 2. But then I just died to the wisps. Yeah, okay, they got me. Anything to change? Not really. Actually, we might want a Rasta just to block flyers. Nah, it's... it might be better than Golo. It might be better than Prime Time even, honestly. Easier to cast, and it blocks all of their flyers, and we even get value if they try to answer it. Yeah, exactly. Arasta just eats the wisps. So we can either go for flagstones here or flagstones off the top. We can also go for Sanctuary. Well, we're now going to go for Sanctuary. God damn it. We're not going to have time to use Blast Stone, so I'd rather have the green source. Oh, it puts it into play tapped. I'm so stupid. I'm such an idiot. Such an idiot. Oh my god. Well, now we're dead. Now we're so fucking dead. Alright, I think I'm gonna go for the Shame Scoop here. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, that was such a bad play. Should have gotten kind of literally any other land ever. Just literally any other land and would have been fine. I'm not gonna play around Second Arbiter of this Vial because I can't beat Second Arbiter. So if they have Second Arbiter, I'm just gonna pack it in. Oh yes! Oh yes! Yes! Not that combo. Caleb, how's it going? Welcome everybody from Caleb's stream. Thank you so much for that raid. We're playing my little brew, which is called Titan Vial. I'm pretty excited about this deck. It's been a ton of fun. Playing a little bit terrible here, but trying to stay in there. Punts left and right, yeah. I mean, we might still be able to get away with it here. Pay for this thing. Fetch. For I guess a snow-covered forest. Fetch Sack snow-covered forest. Now this guy's a 3/4, which is nice. And get a castle. Yeah, let's get a castle. Where we're 3-2. Oh, we're actually, yeah, we're actually now 3-2. 0-0. Okay, so I'm gonna play Eternal Witness. Probably just get back Blast Zone here. They might be able to go Squatter in response, but it's fine. I think I'd rather have Blast Zone here. If they have the sword, okay, so they have Batterskull. We might be able to beat the Batterskull. I don't think we could have beaten the sword. No, I can't fetch for Dryad. So Blood Moon's actually okay. Did you guys do you just play Lamula and Contagious, or they just play? I mean, I would play this. I would play this. That's why I'm working on it, because I think that this actually might be better than given credit for. I think I just need to draw cards here. All right. That's something. Do we go down to 1? I think I'm going to give it a little chumpo here, because I think I'm going to be using Blast Zone. Blow up the Giver. Oof, yeah, I'm definitely using Blast Zone. Well, am I? Yeah, we do, right? Sack Blast Zone. That time walk ended up costing me. Time walk ended up costing me. So we're gonna have to trade with the Thought Knot and kill Skull, or vice versa, like whatever. Whatever order is better. Ooh, maybe they will keep Batterskull or on something. That would have been great. No such luck. It's a lethal attack, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to block here. No, I guess it's better for us to do this. There. somehow lost my match after submitting my board and the MTGO is just not switching windows to the game. What was your reasoning for adding shall I? I'm just trying it out. That's the reason. That's it. That's all I got for you. Just try it out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Play Triad. Play Tracker. Play Land. So if we draw any untap land, we might actually get away with this. Okay, I guess we can't. Alright, so now they just have lethal. Just equip Skull to the Stoneforge Mystic and we are dead. GG's. Man, that was really close. If they had whiffed that one more turn, we would have chomped with the tracker and then we would have, I guess, just played the Courser. Feels bad, man. Definitely feels like I punted away that game. Yeah, that's brutal Hasumana, so like you just got by a glitch. It sometimes happens, like sometimes MTGO just bugs. Shalai is cute. Yeah. It's been okay a couple of times. Like against Prowess and Burn. It's been cool. That's a lot of ETB tap lands. We're on the play though? Sure. This might be a little bit careless, but like we have access to the UWIT. And we have a reasonable amount of very, very good top decks. Versus Tower. It's actually pretty solid, because now we can sack this to go get Ghost Quarter. We're playing against Green Tron, so... Sack this. I have to assume that they have Tron, right? Because it would be a lot better for us to use this turn to go get Blackstones. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to risk it. It's just so much better. So we sack Flagstones, we go get Ghost Quarter. Then we get to Vesuva, and we get to Ewit back to Ghost Quarter. Sweet. Alright, sick. Greediness rewarded. Get Temple Garden, get Ghost Quarter. So now we get to Vesuva the GQ. We get to play Thalia. We attack. I think it might just be worth it to like get in for one more point of damage here. Just going after the towers. We get in for 3 damage. Next turn we get to Ewit, get back Ghost Quarter. We get to double Ghost Quarter then. Ballista for 2. Probably should have not done that main phase. There's literally no reason to. Well, that's better. There's literally no reason to, and also there's the fact that like if I am playing spells, they could have slowed me down a little bit. Alright, so my opponent is pretty far away from Tron now. They got a Karn. So I guess they can go get Piety Needle. Relic. Just not good enough. Just get it in there, right? Like, what can they really have that I would care about? Literally cannot have anything. Like Thought Knots here is probably the best thing that they could have. Second Karn doesn't do anything. Just nothing does anything for them. Yeah, well, usually, like, I don't know, like Tron players just like to do that kind of stuff for whatever reason. I don't really have an explanation. They just love their mismatch lands. Who knows why. Wurmcoil doesn't do anything. We just kill them with Balagan triggers. Tron. Damping Sphere, Teague, Mind Sensor. I don't bottom. What is the stigma about this match tournaments? It's just really, I don't know. I do tend to like probably saying that I am OCD is not accurate, but I like when things fit with each other, right? So it's not really a stigma, it's just that it looks ugly. And personally, I wish that it looked a little bit prettier. That's it. It's nothing too crazy. On the draw, I don't think I like Thalia too much. I just think all of these other cards are better than Thalia. It's the same about white borders. Yeah, it's kind of like that thing, which is like, it would be prettier, you know, it would look cleaner if all the lands looked the same. I'm gonna ship this. If I had a Ramin up there, I think I would have kept, but there was no Ramin up, so. Started playing white borders were the new kid, black borders were passe. Well, yeah, 7th edition was a wild time. I remember when it was like, with 7th edition, it was all white bordered, but you could also The foil ones were actually black bordered. I've been liking it Vial so far. It's been a lot better than it looks. Alright, this hand is just not working out, but this hand is definitely not working out. That Aether Vial has been okay. Alright, so Tron completed. Worm Coil. Actually, that doesn't really matter. Love the chaos factor. Guess that's the way to put it. Let's see someone. So we're just gonna take a block here. Pretty easy. Prevent the life gain that way. Snowcore Forest. I just have Ulamog. Ulamog, unfortunately, we cannot beat. Would have been able to beat like all the other stuff. Like Wormcoil would have been able, another Wormcoil would have been able to beat. I guess our hand was not developing nicely anyway, so we were just dead regardless. On the play, maybe I like Thalias a little bit better. Not by much though. Yeah, I actually don't like Thalias, never mind. Alright, keep. Tron seems like a hard matchup to begin with. I've faced Tron 4 times so far. I beat it every single time. I don't think it's a hard matchup. You just need your opponent not to have the nuts, right? You can sometimes not beat your opponent's nuts, but you can beat most other draws. Like any regular-ish draws. Like for example here, we might be dead to like a big con or something. But if they go Wormcoil, then I feel like we're actually gonna be favored. Well, now we beat Karn too. Sweet. Teague was an insane top deck right there. No, I'd rather get Ghost Squatter going. Seems more important to me. So that's the one they fetched for. Reclaimer. Feels like false advertising. Isn't it like you just suck, Jose? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you're just bad, dude. Did you consider that? So sack planes. Go get Ghost Quarter. Oh, come on. They found the forest in the top 4. They just casually found the forest in the top 4. And now they're totally going to find the missing Tron piece in the top 7. Look at that. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. My body is ready. My body is ready. Okay. So what happens if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So we can cast Golos here, or I can go Knight. Activate, go get Flagstones. Flagstones activate Reclaimer. No, I think I punted there. Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. I think that having Golos in play is just better. Which means that I should have attacked. With the Reclaimer. So I missed on 3 points of damage. Looks. Yeah, Mapson is a legend. Mapson is a legend. So sack here. Yes, get planes. Alright, so they probably have Ugin, which we probably cannot beat. I guess they still need to get their mana going, so... Yeah, they might have Ugin, but... might not even be that great. If they cannot cast it. Mind Sensor doing some serious work here. Probably Ballista. Relic. Oh, sweet. So, attack them. Attack Karn. Attack Karn. Attack Karn. Actually, I think this is just better. Because it makes more zombies and we can make an even bigger attack next turn. Mind Sensor, baby. I mean, he's doing some serious work right now. He's doing some serious work. Scrying. Don't do it. Don't find a missing piece. Whiff. There we go. Mind Sensor, baby. Woo! The pseudo-intellectual. Thank you for that follow. Here comes the relic, which doesn't really do anything. I mean, the only thing that it does is it actually makes what would be otherwise one of my best draws in Raminap just a blank now. So that's really all that it does. Sack this. Temple Garden. Just gonna have a Sue by the field here. Just go super nuts with zombies. Where's that damn Dryad? I know, this game would have been over so long ago if we had found the stupid Dryad. The Dryad or Bellower? Dismember my knight. You got it. Damn it. Well, wish I didn't have to fetch. No! Failed to activate. Damn it. So I'm gonna get him another Valakut. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. So we attack for 11. My opponent says GG well played, so I give them the GGs. Field of the Dead, fair and balanced design. Yep. It's okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just don't think about it. If you don't think about it, it's fine. YOLO. This is not a coward stream. Not a coward stream. Creeping tar pits. So what's my best draw? Probably Thalia. If we draw Thalia, we're actually in business. Fairies? Gonna get the ETB top land out of the way. Oh, please step out to field. Narset. As long as there's no Days and Doing or something alongside with this Narset. I think I'm actually gonna just attack for 1. Means they can't activate again unless they lose the Narset. If they wheel here, that would be pretty good, but not devastating. And also they just sack the Narset just like that. There's gotta be some 6-0 visions because my opponent's just like destroying Narset just like that, so. There goes the push. Oh, they failed to find the they failed to hit their land drop. Guess we're doing this thing. You planeswalkers you control and other creatures you control. Pretty solid. Okay. Elevator going up. What am I munching on? This is pretty great. It's a pretty great meatloaf from this. It's a supermarket here in the States that's called Trader Joe's. It's pretty great. Here's my land. There goes your face. Used to shop there when living in Austin. Yeah, it's a great place. I'm a big fan. So they have all like stuff that they make themselves basically. So they have like their own brand kind of thing. And it is always very good. Like it's just really tasty stuff. And it's not too expensive, which is also great. In fact, it tends to be cheaper than just going to like a normal grocery store. Don't think I want Line Sensor, don't think I want Night of Autumn. I don't think there's gonna be a Tig matchup either. Maybe Night of Autumn for Bitter Blossom. How likely am I to be able to race Bitter Blossom? Very probably. Wish the old Sun Harvest is still around. I know it sprouts now, but it just isn't the same. Yep. What if it's blue black control and not fairies? Then even better for us. Then it's even better for us. I think I guess I'm just gonna risk it. I guess we do have Blast Zone, right, to answer the Bitter Blossom, so it's not the end of the world. I think that Inquisition very strongly indicates that they have access to Ashiok. We drew a great draw, so this means that if they don't answer their Glimmer, we're gonna get to basically get under the Ashiok thanks to this Dryad. So that's great. Went bottom. That's a push. Okay, so we're not gonna be able to get under the Ashiok, which is unfortunate. So now our opponent's gonna have the upper hand. The good thing is that if they dab out for Ashiok, that means that we're gonna get to resolve our Dryad. So there goes the Ashiok. Oh, Plague Engineer. Oh. Well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter in the slightest, honestly. That doesn't matter in the slightest. Maybe I should be playing around Shadowed Out. Yeah, Engineer doesn't seem very good against us. So if they have Shadowed Out, this is miserable. Snapcaster, push. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Sure. Temple Garden. 1, 2, 3. So I guess I'm actually gonna get Silencious Sanctuary here. Because now I can just resolve Udo. Golos. That's what I meant to say. Go get Valakut. Next turn we trigger Field and Valakut. Yeah, so they're gonna get to Inquisition and win one of these riots, but the other one is gonna get them. Slash Master X, thank you for the follow. No blocks, thank you very much. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Good stuff. Just the best stuff, honestly, if you think about it. Just the best stuff. Silly opponent, you can't push Golos. Nope. Ship it. And keep it. One almost to 5. Reclaimer, say go. Definitely feel like getting a white source is correct there. Raise the alarm. Oh my. It's the dreaded token stack. KY Sleepy, think about that follow. The dreaded token stack. This was a fun meme though. This was a fun meme. That weekend when people thought that this deck was actually good. That was fun. Just go get Titan. Wokens. It did fire 4 different times. Well, okay, so that's gonna be the next goal for this deck. I just want to 5 different times so I can say that this deck is as real as mono white tokens. Prime time, where are you? There. Yeah, that's what I don't understand, right? Like, why would you want to play a bunch of 1/1s when you can just do this? You want to play tokens, opponent? This is how you play tokens. If you want to play a tokens deck, let me teach you how to play a tokens deck. Let me teach you what makes a good tokens deck. LOL. My opponent spent 2 cards to make strictly worse version of what I spent 1 card for. Clearly we're not playing the same game here. Arasta? Actually, Arasta doesn't sound terrible. For the like Lingering Souls tokens and stuff. I guess it's not Lingering Souls, it's the other card, which is Spectral Procession. Only thing that I'm wondering is whether this deck plays Arbiter, and it might. It might play Arbiter. Not sure. Blast Zone seems bad. I literally just said how it might play Arbiter. I need answers to their other stuff. And I'd rather have a colorless source that enters untapped than a black source that enters tapped. Bellower might not be great enough there to be killing much. Bellower allows me to get the Dryad and we can kill their stuff. It's not really a card advantage engine, it's just a Dryad tutor slash Raminap tutor slash Knights tutor, etc. You get the point. One thing I haven't been liking about this Vial deck is that the games take forever. It takes hours to finish a league. I mean, we are currently on our 9th match, and I've been streaming for 3 hours and 5 minutes. It's not that much. I've definitely played longer leagues with Amulet, 100%. And I definitely played longer leagues with Stoneblade and stuff. Pretty happy seeing a deck like this, one that you're playing as competitive. I was out of Malus just a while ago. Yeah, I mean, don't get confused. Like, this is not a tier deck. At least not yet. But I think that it's a lot better than people think it is. It's definitely a lot better than I think it is. I'm gonna Steve here, I think, on 2. Don't have Arbiter. That's not Arbiter. Sweet. Maybe I've been just having grindy matchups. Yeah, I mean, it's a grindy matchups are grindy matchups, right? Like, you're just, those are gonna take longer regardless of which deck you play. Like, it doesn't matter if you're playing this deck or, I don't know, unless you're playing Burn or something. Your grindy matchups are always gonna be grindy. That's why they are grindy matchups, right? This isn't tier 1, this is anti-tier 1. Actually, that's a great way of putting it. That's a really great way of putting it. Get the correct Tar Forest. And Well, now... Yeah, I think I just need to Dryad plus Reclaimer here. Oops, almost forgot to make my extra land drop first. Then play Reclaimer. What's this deck? And destroy Green Blue Merfolk. Deck confirm amazing. It beats Merfolk? Sick. What else could you want from your deck, right? You're gonna path my Dryad? I'm ready. Oh, just more 1/1s? Sure. I mean, I guess they're 2/2s, right? Giant Killer. Giant Killer. That's cute. All right, I like that. That's fun. We still get to Titan next turn, so we're fine. Human or Soldier token? Which one do you like better? So let's think for a second here. So I blow this, float the mana, sack. Well, I guess I should untap first, right? Next turn we float the mana, get a green source anyway, we're still fine. So, okay, so we didn't get there. Go squatter my own thingy. Use Ghost Quarters ability, yes, we gotta get a snow-covered forest. Now we use Flagstone's abilities, yes, we're gonna get Temple Garden. Now we wanna use Primeval Titan's ability, yes, we do. And we're gonna get Field plus Sanctuary, because we haven't made a land drop yet. Tokens, bounce fountain, replay fountain, make more tokens, gain life. Your go. Now my tokens line up against their tokens. He died after aging Sunday. Oh yeah, he aged. That intentional virtue is very good for them. For sure. For sure, quite powerful. That was a really good top deck for them. Three, 6, 7, 8. Down to 1. Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that top deck should win this now. Do you want to make tracker clues? Or make more Sombos? I think I would like to make more Sombos, actually. Flagstone's field. Opponent goes wide, I go wider, yep. Basically, the only thing that matters here is that they don't find the flyer. If they don't find the flyer, then I basically can't lose. Five, six, 7, 8. Let me teach you, opponent, how you're supposed to be producing zombies. Tap target creature. You got it. Can't believe people still think that deck is good enough to play. I mean, that's kind of like the beauty about Modern. You can kind of play anything that you want, as long as you have a plan. And this deck does have a plan. Even though it's an ugly token. That's an ugly dude. That dude is... Look at that mouth. Ugh. Ugly dude. GG Sweet Dex as my opponent. Mono white being very, very cheap to build. That's true. That is true, yeah. Which might be a big reason that people are still playing it. And a big reason why, I mean. Look at Freed Mania chilling on the second spot in the leaderboard. Holy crap. The sand doesn't do anything. Sand does do stuff. What are we playing against? Arbor Elf. Blood Moon's still annoying for us, but a lot more beatable for this deck than it is for something like Amulet, obviously. I'm still not happy to see Blood Moon on the other side of the field. The dreaded double stomp / lightning bolt / stuff. Second pillage could be pretty devastating here. Alright, any untap land, then we get to Titan, so that's cool. Unless they have Mono, alright. Glorybringer. Okay. I mean, if we draw any untap source here, I think we actually stabilize. So, any untap source, right now. That's a sort of a delay untap source. I guess I'll take it. Ooh, it blocks Bonecrusher Giant very nicely. I'm gonna get another green source there, just in case my opponent top decks a pillage and they blow up one of my green sources. Second Glory Banger might be too much. Clothis. That's, yeah, that one is a lot. We were fine until there. We were fine until there. That one was a lot. Should I show them more of my deck? I don't think so. Because it's not like I can win this game anymore. We were fine until the Blood Moon. When the Blood Moon came down, that's just too much. We just cannot stabilize at that point. Alright, this thing. Which printing of Titan do you have capability of deck? The only printing of Titan. I don't consider the GP Titan to be a printing of Titan. I just consider that an aberration. Just an aberration. I kind of do want the paths. Reclaimer is great in this matchup. Stevie's fine. Maybe we can cut the call. Ramming up, it's okay. How about 4 different MTGO Titans? Disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, the Spider Green, actually very good. We have Dryad for Golos. Yeah, we have activated Golos multiple times already. And we usually win when we activate Golos. Just cut the, nope, cut the, I literally cut the call. All right, 61 card special, let's go. $61 card special, let's go. To play this deck, just to show Jose that it's not a... Yeah, I mean, you know that it's not a 2-3 deck because I have not 2-3'd with it yet. I have only 3-2'd or better. Samuel Black. Oh, Sam Black? Sam Black is following me? Dude. Alright. Hashtag life goals. Hey Sam, how's it going? Dude. Such a pleasure to have you here. Big fan of your stuff. All of it. Regardless of what it is. Big fan. Really? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. By the way, I don't know if you remember, but like I actually got to meet you on GP Austin, like right after when the final pairings got posted, and we got to talk for like, I don't know, like 45 minutes or something. Dude, it was awesome. You're such a nice guy. And you were already one of my favorite Magic players ever, so it was only better to know that you're also just a great dude as well. Well, this doesn't really do much here. Mind tapping over to your current list? Yeah, for sure. This is where I'm at right now. I am doing a lot of testing though. I've been doing, that's what today was about, really. So I was actually going to mention this card. This card actually has been working out very, very well. So I've been kind of impressed by this card. And Shalai is what we're testing today, which has been okay-ish. Teague has been also kind of medium. I'm still trying to figure out the sideboard. The main deck has felt very solid. Let's finish watching the last 5-0. Yeah, we played against some weird decks on that 5-0. It was pretty interesting. This is actually a very interesting turn. I think I am just going to hold on to this Path to Exiles. If they have a pillage for this Aether Vial, we're going to be super far behind, but that's okay. I just don't want to give them stuff to feed the Clothes, and I would like to hold that path. So if my opponent plays a couple of dudes to actually enable Clothes, that's great for us because we just get to path it. Thalia stood out to me as not having really done anything, at least in those matches. Yes, but honestly, I think that Thalia was the breakthrough time. The breakthrough card. I was like, if you look at the very first match, the very first league that I played, you will see that a lot of it is kind of weird and slightly nonsensical. And then after I added the Thalias, that's where everything in the deck kind of started to make more sense. Which might be weird to say, but it's kind of how it felt for me. It's not really an obvious card by any means, but I feel like it was the moment where the deck went from kind of like not really doing anything to like actually having a way to beat the deck that it was the decks that it was meant to beat in the control decks and the prowess decks. Particularly against the control decks. It does a lot against the control decks. If you go turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Thalia against a control deck, I have not lost a game where I did that so far. In fact, I've been destroying control decks very, very reliably, honestly. So this is cool here. My opponent can't attack. Honestly, what the hell is their hand? So I'm going to crack Glue first. If they kill the tracker, whatever, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I might path my own tracker at this point. Alright, that was interesting. They just did nothing. What am I supposed to do here? Because I don't really want to call just yet. And I also don't really want to take this Vial up to 4. I think I'm just going to pass here. I want to make sure that I don't just die to... Keep this. I want to make sure that I don't just die to Blood Moon. Seems like one of the few ways that my opponent can get away with this game. No, not tap that, tap this. So we're going to crack using double white. To stick, okay. I'm going to stick with my suggestion, try moving Thalia to the board. The Lanceless card advantage package is so inherently strong against control, and the card that's so lit in your plan when it's not at its best, that I just don't think it's a great use of main deck space. It's possible. It's possible. But on the other hand, I just, it has been really doing a lot of work for me. Like it's tough to explain, but it just has felt really good. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just violining the Dryad, and I'm gonna play Reminap. This allows me to replay this. Get to keep this. But I don't know, it feels out of place, I know. But on the other hand, it actually does a lot of work. If my opponent blocks here, this means that the Clothies are worse, so I'm okay with that. And I'm holding a path here instead of playing Reclaimer, because I can, in response to a removal spell, I can just path my own dude, and that will give me the green source that I might need in the presence of Blood Moon. Yeah, it doesn't really... Sure, Pillage is fine. It doesn't really disrupt you whatsoever, basically. And against, like, your worst matchups are your combo decks, right? And I have been able to beat combo decks solely because of Thalia. Well, that's solid. Just using Thalia to slow your opponents down enough, and then okay, they just conceded, and then they just being able to get there, because like if you look at the deck, honestly, if you look at the entire deck, we really struggled against combo decks, and the prowess decks are sometimes tough to get under, because they just get under you. So haven't looked through the history of how the deck developed to see what the Thalia replaced that made the deck smoother with it. I can definitely believe it's been good in matches other than the 5 I've seen. Just based on those, it looked like the weakest card. Yes, I agree. But it might have been based on the matchups that it might have been because of the matchups that I have faced. Which combo decks have I been playing against? Ad nauseam. We faced Storm. We actually beat Storm the one time that I played it, which felt like completely crazy, and it was in great reason, I guess. I don't even know how to say that phrase in English. It was because I was playing Thalia. I tried to throw in a fancy phrase there, and then it just didn't work out. So against those decks, against prowess is pretty important, and against the control decks as well. Like the control decks can basically get to a point where they start stealing your Aether Vials, and they start stealing your Elvish Reclaimers, and then they just slam a Planeswalker, and they start pulling ahead. And once they have a Planeswalker in play, even Field sometimes doesn't save you because they have access to their own Fields of Ruin. So Thalia means that if you draw a Thalia early-ish in the game, your opponent can never get to do that, and they're always behind. And if they are behind, then it's extremely tough for them to come back and get you. And also the nice thing about Thalia has been the fact that there's not that many decks that it's just terrible against. Guess it makes sense that it's bad against mid-range, but you're great against mid-range and interacts with spells in a way. Exactly. So like the Thalias are there because they fix a lot your bad matchups, and your good matchups are like if every time I get paired against John, it's kind of a joke, right? Every time I get paired against John, it's just a joke. So that's what it has going for it, you know. All right, I was supposed to cut a card here. I think I'm going to cut the other number skull. Everything else just seems better. Thalia seems very good against the banned files. Yeah, exactly. Thalia is a reverse ramp spell. Yes, that actually has been very, very true. Wait, what am I playing against? Oh, I'm playing. Yeah, so this sounds like a good hand against the monsters deck. What's up, Wusa? How's it going? So we're gonna go turn one tapped Stomping Ground. Well, that's great. It's kind of an awkward draw, but it's fine. We're gonna go turn 1 Vial here. But I think on turn 3, I'm not gonna be able to play this castle, so this knight is gonna have to wait. It's not that I can sack any of my lands, and this is one of the reasons why knight was not in my original list. Knight is a card that I added after seeing Return to Dust, which is the person that took my deck and finished in the top 16 of the Showcase Challenge. So I tried it after I saw them playing it. But it wasn't originally in my list because of what we're seeing right now. I guess I have to play around Blood Moon, so we're gonna do this. This is still fine though. I think Modern would be fine with the Princess in this event. Would you see it fit? Well, actually, we were doing a video series with my friend Everos, and we were calling that video series. Well, that's like the perfect draw. Because this means that my knight, when I validate on my end step, my knight is not going to die to a stomp. So that's actually a sick draw. Anyway, so yeah, so we were doing a video series where we cover exactly that. We just talk about... we basically grab decks that are banned in Modern and we play them against the current Modern field. I could keep this on 3. I think I'm just going to take it up. It's gonna give me more mana to work with next turn. Oh, sweet. So I was going to play Golos, but now we just do this because it's a lot better. How about instead of getting Golos, we get like double Golos? That sounds better. And here I'm taking some damage, but I think we're fine. Because I definitely would rather have access to the basic here. I have no idea which hand my opponent kept over there. That whatever it was definitely Emolian 100%. But yeah, I think that Zenith might be okay. It's definitely risky. It's definitely risky. But Zenith might be okay. Zenith might be okay, and that's the other card that I think might be okay is Punishing Fire. I think both of those basically the metagame moved in a way that those cards don't seem completely egregious to me, and they seem worthy of experimentation. It's possible that I might be wrong, and they are completely busted. But yeah, you want Knight to be bigger than a 3/3? Yes, but they have like I cannot play around the bolt, right? So I at least that allows me to play around the giant, the stomp, right? Punishing Fire is such a feel-bad card to play against that even though it might be okay, it's just not worth it. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. But I don't even know whether it would be that good. What I'm going to say might sound nuts, but Jite is almost unbannable. No, I don't think you can unban Jite. I would never unban Jite, really. Also because it's really hard to pronounce Jite, Shite. I don't even know how you're supposed to say that. But yeah, Zenith might be okay. But also at the same time, you're opening up a Pandora's box, right? Skull Clump can be safely unbanned. No. No. No, it cannot. I imagine you have not played with or against Skull Clump too much, little cheeky. Because that sounds to me like a statement made by a person that has not played with Skull Clamp too much. Yeah, it's not even close. Skull Clamp is 100% unbannable. Sadly, do would love to see some Zenith. Yeah, that would be great. Would love to see some Zenith in the format. It might be too much. Give us Summer Bloom so Willow Summer is no longer the most egregious summer themed card. That's a good point. That's a good point. And what's also good is like this deck, folks. I just keep on winning. So my overall record now is, since I have a list that I am quote unquote happy with, meaning since I have the Thalia, since I have the Elamber Skull, even though the Elamber Skull are definitely cuttable, but the Steves were great and the Thalias were great. And messing around with the numbers and stuff, So far, I think I went 4-1 in the first league since I made the changes. Then I went another 4-1, then a 5-0, then another 4-1, then a 3-2, and another 4-1. So pretty solid. How has Bellower been? Bellower is just... So it's kind of... Alright, so let me explain how this worked. Before I added Shalai, again, Shalai is still a flex slot right now. So what I was doing is I was playing with Fierce Empath. So what Fierce Empath did in the deck is it allowed you to get prime time more often than not, but sometimes what you needed was like a Dryad or something. So Fierce Empath was actually an indirect way of getting Dryad, because you could fire Fierce Empath for Bellower, then Bellower get Dryad. And then the Dryad would like kill them or whatever. And Bellower is very, very good with Eternal Witness, and also very good in your side-loaded games against... I think I won a game where I Bellowered for Knight of Autumn to destroy my Eldrazi Tron opponent's Ensnaring Bridge. This, I might be misremembering this, but I think that's something that happened. It might be in the bots. Without Empath, what's it doing? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I made the changes to add to see if Shalai is good, but it hasn't... I don't know, I'm not sure that Shalai is a card that I want to have. It's nice that it's a 4, so it kind of fits in the curve, but honestly, I've been very impressed with Arasta. So I could see having Arasta be my 4-drop instead of Shalai, and if I'm cutting Empath for real, then I would probably consider not playing Bellower anymore. But yeah, Bellower for Dryad has been the play that has happened the most so far, I think. I think one time the second one is definitely Bellower for Knight of Autumn. Those are the ones that have happened the most. But yeah, it's just like it's basically like a threat, like a 6/5 that goes get Dryad. Basically, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know if it's that worth it anymore. I definitely fear Empath for it, but I don't know if we're supposed to, if I'm supposed to continue playing this anymore, if I'm not playing Fierce Empath. I enjoyed a lot of my Umori piles from the past. Yeah, that's another thing that we were considering, like adding Umori, but like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and it's really tough to explain how good Aether Vial is in this deck. It's really, really tough to explain, because so far every single Aether Vial deck that anybody has ever played has been a tempo deck, right? A tempo or like a disruption deck, like a la Death and Taxes, you know? And this is very much not that. This is just a ramp deck that happens to play Aether Vial. But Aether Vial is very awkward in that it just doesn't work in the same way that it works on any single other deck ever. I have had people come to me all the time on stream and say, like, I would cut the vials for Gracers. I would cut the vials for Noble Hierarchs and stuff. In my original list, I actually had Noble Hierarchs alongside the vials. And those were, after playing the first league, I'm like, this suck. Those were the 3 things that I cut to add the Thalias. And yeah, this is not built in such a way that any deck has really built before, because this is a ramp deck that plays Aether Vial. So it plays out very, very differently, and Vial is good for different reasons. And also, it just nets you so much mana. Very often you are gonna be setting up on 3, and then it's gonna sit there for a while until you actually start going towards the upper numbers. But I violed in Titan multiple times with my opponent just having access to like Remands, Aether Gusts in hand that they were literally never able to cast. And also they tap out to do something. Like we had it happen today where my opponent just like, they tap out to resolve the Fairy because they were just falling behind to the Aether Vial, and they minus, and then I just completely pivot and I vial in something, then untap and like resolve the Golos or something, and I answer the Fairy, and the game is immediately over. So yeah. I did try Creature Nisa, Sam. So if you go to my YouTube channel, You can. I made a playlist. Over here. If you go to my YouTube channel, I made a playlist where I organized all of my Titan Vial streams, so you can actually see like how the deck evolved. So because you can see the changes one for one. Actually, let's check that out real quick.
Hey, can you help me out? Wait, hang on, don't skip me.
All right. Boom. Thing going on. All right, so this is the very first list. So as you can see at the very first list, we had like all the stuff that I'm talking about, and we also had Fiend Artisan. We have the Noble Hierarchs that I was talking about. We had multiple Cavernous Souls, which I ended up cutting because they were really awkward on the mana. We also had access to like Oracle of Muldaya, Questing Beast, and Nissa Basswood Seer. It's pretty tiny, but maybe you can see it. There we go, a little bit more quality. Nissa consistently underperformed, so I ended up cutting it for another copy of Tracker. And Courser was a lot better than Oracle by so much that I added the third copy of Courser over the Oracle. Questing Beast was more kind of a meme. But like it was kind of like a cute thing. I wanted to try it out. The sideboard have, you know, like an extra copy of Untitled Chapter that I ended up going back to the main deck. Then there were the Damping Spheres and the like Celestial Purge. I think is far and away the best sideboard card for this deck because you can answer Blood Moon, Ashiok, Klothys, Chandra out of the rock decks. You can answer Bedlam Reveler, Swift Spear, Soulscar Mage. Like all the problematic cards for this deck get answered by Celestial Purge. So this is like the very first draft. I think I went 2 and 3 with this list. Then what happened then? Then that's when I added the Thalias. I added the Thalias, cut the Noble Hierarchs. I added the third copy of Courser and the third copy of Tracker to the main deck. And then I made sure that my mana was a little bit more consistent, so I added more basics, and I added more fetch lands, and I cut some caverns and some castles. And you can kind of see like how the deck evolved after I had more experience with it. I felt and I was seeing you know, all the flaws and try to fix those. I thought way too hard. I think you're a little too inclined to try to play a 4 to make the curve look better, like the fact that you often want to leave Vial on 3 means it's likely better just play lots of 3 rather than a 4. Yes. But what happens a lot is on your way to 5, you upkeep, trigger, Vial trigger on the stack, you Vial in a 3, and then you uptick the Vial to 4. That happens a lot. So, yeah. And yeah, actually, the list that I 5-0 with actually had no 4-drops. That's another thing. So I'm not married to the idea of having a 4. I think it's kind of nice, but I'm definitely not married to the idea. How have the games played out? Just often Vial and then Vial 3. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, Sam. So it's actually a lot smoother than it looks like. It's a lot smoother than it looks like. And you don't really need to have force. By any means. But Arasta has actually been impressive. Like we played against Prowess earlier today, and it just came down, and my Prowess opponent just could not do anything. All of their cards were rendered useless. I was able to block their flyers. I was able to make a ton of chump blockers, and then actually those chump blockers actually allowed me to turn the corner and just kill my opponent in a 1-turn swing. So is there a strong reason against Chordicon where you're playing Thalia, you're playing Aether Vial, and you just don't have the mana for Chord? In the Dunbury Skull, it's a lot better because you can just call on your opponent's end step. It's only 2 mana, and then often, very often, what you call for ends up getting Vialed. So you get to play around counter magic a lot better. Because you're not spending like 6 mana to get a 3-drop. You just spend 2 of it, you untap, you Vial, and then your 3-drop, and you're good. Arasta seems like... Yeah, I was very impressed. It was the very first time that I tried the card, and it was actually very impressive. I only cast it 1 time, and it was enough for me to be like, yeah, okay, this card is legit. I do like this card a lot in the matchup. Ooze and Voice are medium. Yeah, they are not cards that I would be interested in. I mean, one thing that I want to point out though is one of the weakest aspects of this deck is its mana base. And that's another aspect of why Aether Vial is so good at this deck, and why it's something that very, very often people just completely forego. Vial is actually really, really good in this deck because you can play it on the first turn off of a Flagstones. You can play it on the first turn off of Plains. You can play it off a Radiant Fountain. You can play it off a Blast Zone. Like all of your colorless sources do cast Vial on one. It allows you to already like have something on board, and after that, your mana situations is just completely fixed immediately. But if you look at the mana base, you have to remember this mana base is built off of Amulet, right? Like I started off this deck as an Amulet deck, where I basically just cut all the amulets and I added vials instead. So as you can see, the whole concept is very memey. You want the Springbloom Dryad. Which one's Springbloom Dryad? I know what Springbloom Druid is, but I'm not familiar with the Dryad. Oh, you actually meant Druid. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, I have not considered it at all. Huh. I wonder if this is better than Steve. I actually had not considered this card at all. Harrow on a stick, yeah, I know, it's pretty great. But like, if you ever get to Flagstones, to sack your Flagstones to Springbloom Druid, you're doing it, right? Like, how much better than that can it really get? Just the casual 3 mana ramp for 3. I mean, I would test it for sure. I don't have time today because I'm gonna have to go, but I've honestly been very excited about this deck. So I'm probably gonna spend the rest of this week just tuning it and like figuring out what cards I can try that make sense. A lot of people have suggested to me like the 3 mana 3/2 guy that adds counter to your Aether Vial, and I just don't think that is a playable modern card. So yeah, I think that people are trying to think too much. Again, it's what we're talking about. Darth Kid with the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, Darth Kid. Appreciate it. For the 4th month in a row. Hell yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, another thing about the Vial that people think is that Evolution Sage. Yeah, that's the one. And people just want to ramp out Primetime, and it's just like, that's not what this deck wants to do. I don't want to be just Violating a Titan on turn 4, right? I'm going to Violating a Titan on turn 7, and it's going to be good. Like, that's the point. That's what I'm trying to get doing with this deck. Evolution Sage just did not seem playable from the beginning. And like, besides Vial, like, it's a 3 mana literal do nothing. I guess that you can put a counter on a tracker, and that's literally about it. Yeah, that's actually about it. You can proliferate your Blast Zone, I guess. It does not seem very good. So no. Kenrith seems good. Is it better than Golos? Because that's the only thing that I have to say about Kenrith. Is Kenrith better than Golos in this deck? And I strongly, strongly doubt it. It's possible that it is. It could be a sideboard card too. It could be a sideboard card. It does not seem better than Golos. Problem is that green and white are the weakest abilities. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do get to activate the red one with Valakut. And also Dryad just fixes your mana. We have actually activated Golos multiple times on stream. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Golos is just better than Kenrith in this deck specifically. And I definitely don't want another 5. I definitely don't want another 5. So we had the Springblue Druid, we cut the Bellower. Maybe this is what we can try tomorrow. The problem is I don't know at which point we just end up with too much ramp or too much nonsense. Because I doubt that Springblue Druid is going to be better than Steve. Like, Steve is actually pretty great. Steve is actually pretty great in this deck. You get to cast it on turn 2 pretty often, which gets your turn 3 going. Again, we're pretty 3-drop heavy here, so anything that happens before 3 is probably going to be better than something that happens on 3. But it's definitely interesting, especially the synergy with Flagstones. Cascading Cataracts for Golos and Kenrith. Cascading Cataracts is significantly worse than every other land. Even if I had room or if I wanted to play more lands, like I would play a 4th Flagstones before I play Cascading Cataracts. I mean, my suggestion to cut Thalia was so you could replace 2 of them with Steve. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. No, but actually, I've been actually super happy with the Thalia. We actually... Was it today? Was it today or was it yesterday? I think it might have been on yesterday's stream, Sam. It's going to go up at 4 p.m. It's going to go up on YouTube. And if you want to check that out, I think it might have been there where Thalia was actually really, really good. Like, I think I went like turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Thalia, and basically won the game on the spot. I can't remember when it was. But I remember it was against Timur Reclamation. I remember it being against Timur Reclamation. Oh, we went for 1. We went for 1. There we go. Just doing a quick debrief here by one of my magic heroes of all time. With one of my magic heroes of all time. So, having a good time here. How was the spider? Very good, Bone Daddy. Very, very good. Like, I'm actually sold on the spider for sure. Trying to persuade me? No, I actually can't. Otherwise, I would. But tomorrow, I might actually stream. Usually, I stream Legacy on Wednesdays, but I am really excited about this deck. I think I'm going to play it some more tomorrow. We're gonna forego Legacy this week. What was the loss to? I remember we lost against... We went 3-2 and 4-1 today. We lost against... what did we lose against this league? I mean, we can check real quick. I honestly just forgot. Register this deck for Legacy to get extra testing. That's the next level thinking right there. Yeah, so we lost against Mono White Taxes. I guess Eldracian Taxes. And then we lost against Prowess, Mono Red Prowess, Ryan over 2 for Mono Red Prowess, and then we lost against Eldrazi Tron, where my opponent had the perfect draws every single time. It was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. Wasn't good. I wish I had been here early because I used some Stircrate to grab the rest of what I was missing, but didn't know about the spider. Oh, Frozen Phoenix. Basically, just go on Scryfall and any green or white creature, just buy it, just in case. I'll try to cue Snippy tomorrow so you can test the mirror. We're gonna have to start working on that mirror tech, you know? Just like the extra mind sensors and stuff. Pichiolandia, thank you for the follow. Did you draw Spider against anything other than Prowess? No, Sam, because it was in my sideboard. So right now I move it to the main deck because it feels like it's good against a lot of the decks that I'm trying to beat. Honestly, it just seems kind of insane how the 5th toughness seems really good. So like, for example, I think I was bringing in against the red-green deck because like one of the main things that I'm going to lose that matchup is going to be to Glorybringer. And Arasta just blocks Glorybringer straight up. Like I'm not gonna bring it against Eldrazi Tron, but I'm gonna be bringing it against any control deck. just anytime they cast like a push or something, you get a 1/2. If they cryptic or something, you get a 1/2. If they cantrip, you get a 1/2. It seems pretty sick. Against Prowess, it's the nuts. Like the one time I cast it against Prowess, it just took over the game immediately. What else? Against Burn, it seems like slow, but maybe okay. Although I guess that against Burn, he just wants stuff like gains life instead. Inventing new archetypes so he can make the sick cash when TCG player referrals. Next level play. I know, this was all a very elaborate scam to get everybody to use their TCG player affiliate link so they can support the stream while getting while getting the new cards, you know? Nah, memes aside, this is sweet. This is sweet. My favorite thing is how this deck came to be, right? I honestly can't remember who it was, but like we finished a league where I got completely destroyed by Aethergust, and I was just desperate. I was completely desperate. I'm like, how can I beat Aethergust? How can I do it? What do I need to do to beat Aethergust? And somebody said Aether Vial Kappa, and I'm like, I mean, I guess let's try it. And that's how this became a thing. It's really funny. It's really, really funny. Anyway, this was a fun debrief. I enjoyed this a lot. And thanks for hanging out here, Sam, too. If you have any questions, just message me on Discord or whatever. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that as well. A little banter. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.